Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video I have a small task to do and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, but still I wanna try. I am showing you this tractor. This is my neighbor's tractor and I have borrowed this once again because I have a very special task for it, but unfortunately there is a problem with this tractor and it's not a big deal. I can use it as it is, but I still wanna try to fix it just to help him out, and I will feel so much better if I can do this job, and the tractor is gonna be more powerful this way. So the problem that I'm gonna face today is, before I begin to explain what the problem is, I want to show that this tractor is 4x4, and in the moment the front wheel drive doesn't work because you can see half of the shaft, that is the drive shaft from the rear differential towards the front differential, is in two parts, and the front half of the differential is mounted, but the second part of it is disassembled on the ground. And from what I have heard from the owner, the 4 bolts that are connecting the shaft to the differential in the back, and there is this small shaft in the middle which is made from 2 parts, and there are 2 bearings or more, I don't know. There are some bearings inside that are connecting the 2 halves of the main shaft. So these nuts, these bolts have kind of loosened on their own, and they have fallen out of place in the middle of work. So what this caused is, I want to show you over here. Probably you'll be able to tell that the bearing on this shaft is out of its place and the shaft itself is out of its place. So now the bigger shaft, that is the main shaft, cannot be installed into place. This thing is working as a connection point between the rear shaft and the front shaft, and the second job that this thing does is, you can see that this shaft doesn't have any room for play, and since this point over here is fixed to the chassis of the tractor and the front axle is moving constantly during work, during driving this thing, and that movement causes the distance between the front axle and this point over here to constantly change. And since this shaft cannot change its length, you can see that it's fixed over here in this bearing, in this giant body that has this two smaller shafts. It is allowing this front part of the shaft to kind of play backward and forward if necessary, of course, when the front axle is moving up and down, and this thing is very important. So the problem is that, according to my neighbor, when he disassembled this, he did this once before, a few years back. When he did it, he said that the connecting points, the bolts that are keeping this into place towards the chassis of the tractor, have some sort of a problem, and it is bothersome for this thing to be disassembled, and I don't know what to expect. So my idea is to try and fix this thing on its place, like it is now mounted on the tractor. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that, but I'm gonna try. If not, I'm gonna disassemble this from the tractor and I'm gonna try to fix it then. I hope that this is gonna be interesting for you. I don't know what the end result is gonna be. I'm hoping for the best for me to be able to fix this thing, but we'll see. So if you think this is going to be interesting or helpful to you, you can consider staying till the end of the video. So let's not waste any more time and start disassembling. I'm gonna try to see inside of this thing it's supposed to be oil. And before I start disassembling anything else, I'm gonna check the level if there is any oil at all, and if it is, I'm gonna drain it, so I'm gonna be able to work without worrying about it. If not, I'm gonna know to top it up with oil once I'm done. I hope I didn't disappointed you, but I have installed everything back into place. All I had to do was I decided to check if the two halves are aligned, and since they were kind of matching, I decided to try and give it a few taps. So I grabbed a hammer and a piece of wood to make sure not to damage anything, and I tapped it a few times, and this thing immediately started to go back to its place without any hesitation, without any issues. So apparently it was aligned perfectly with the other half. So all I had to do is to tap it back into place, and you can see now it is fitting, and there is no oil leaking from there, at least at the moment. I have topped it up with oil. I don't know if you saw, but I made a little bit of a mess over here. I have installed the second part of the shaft, so I think this is gonna be all. I hope that it wasn't very disappointing and it was at least a little bit helpful or interesting to you. So if you think this content is appealing, you can consider subscribing, sharing, commenting, and I hope to see you in my next videos. So thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.